Yo, YouTube. It's Waffle Man with a video review. Saints Row 4 is the sequel to Saints Row the Third. The game quickly puts you into the action as you try to take down a terrorist and save the world. And this is just the beginning. Now the game doesn't look really much difference. It's not really much of a change. I can see the gameplay as much as the way Saints Row the Third gameplay was. The graphics haven't really changed, but let's move on to the customization. The game has even more customization features. You can have dimples now, freckles, I mean anything. And this is all after the first scene, customizing your eyes. The customization is very deep, and you can even have Nolan North's voice. Just amazing. And don't forget about all the taunts and stuff like that. There's a bunch of them. Even the blowjob one. I mean, come on. Saints Row just has everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a time for fear, but a time for celebration.
It's firepower.
Saints Row story is basically about an alien invasion that comes to Earth, takes everybody, and threatens you. Threatens the president of the United States, which you are.
Where's Matt?
Upstairs,
as you can see right here, the action is taking place,
by the looks of it.
and Saints Row is just as crazy as it's always been. Even crazier in this game.
I'm meeting up with Matt. I'll be in touch via comm.
Watch your ass.
You go back into the past to leave it to the Saints, and this is all a simulation. And it's an enjoyable part of the game to play as well. What I enjoy about Saints Row is the ability for the game to change its place at different speeds, to bring you different parts of actions, and the fact that you keep doing on different stuff. Now the hub menu is totally nice again. I like it better than Saints Row the Third because it's much easier. You can play the radio at any point, and the vehicle is pretty good as well. Driving vehicles feels fluid, but once you get your superpowers, driving is a thing of the past. Now you could customize your weapons, customize the skin color, you could buy weapons, you could upgrade weapons. The same weapon system is there before. Nothing's different. You still have to go to friendly fire. Nothing's really been changed in this part of the game. You could customize your clip size, your damage. You could add a gold plated to your pistol. And the radio features there again. There's not that many radio stations viewed in the last game. And the music isn't going to really surprise you, but the game has its own soundtrack, which is pretty good. And the upgrade system has also been kind of the same. Not that many different new upgrades, mostly the same upgrades. But the new thing in this game is the powers. And the powers are amazing. At first I thought that the powers in this game were going to be kind of a gimmick. But as you get to use the powers in the game, they're really great. Saints Row takes you from different places, from aboard the ship on the Zinniac to the simulation. As you do these missions, you also have side quests you could do to get other weapons and have your super homies. And all your homies have the ability to get super homies. Now the powers in this game are just fun to use. You'll see yourself jumping, sprinting so many times, it's ridiculous. I enjoyed flying so much, gliding and running at super speeds, and it's all in a smooth, fluid motion. And as you get your new powers, the game teaches you your powers in another simulation that teaches you what you could do with their powers and how to take down enemies.
It's kind of like that.
But once you start running and jumping with your superpowers and gliding, you never want to stop it. As you go around the city, you'll see clusters to improve your superpowers. And I collected so many clusters that I just couldn't stop getting them. Now the game of Saints Row 4 doesn't look that much different than Saints Row the Third. Matter of fact, in my opinion, the game looks a little bit dull and a little bit bleak. But you'll get over it, the action and the gameplay of the game, because it ceases to not amuse you. Now, as I played Saints Row the 4, there were some glitches and hiccups up there. Sometimes I even had to restart the game or quit, and sometimes it even froze. But this doesn't happen all the time, and it doesn't take away from the action. And the weapons in the game are amazing as well. They're even crazier than before. I mean, they even have the dubstep gun. My favorite gun in the game. I actually did the side quest to get this gun, and it's a blast to use. The missions in the game are also quite well. Some of the missions though got a little bit repetitive though, because the story is based on saving your homies and saving the world. But the homie missions kind of got repetitive after a while, because it seemed like you did the same thing every time to save your homies. But it didn't get old that fast, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the game as much as I did. Like I said before, the story of Saints Row is crazy. It'll even take you to the blast from the past. If you played previous Saints Row games, you'll see characters pop up here and there. And if you haven't played Saints Row 2 or Saints Row the 3rd, it's also okay.
This isn't a born again thing, is it?
Nah, she's future you.
Makes sense. So what happens to me?
What do you mean?
Look, Shaundi, let's get out
No. I want to hear what I have to say to myself.
If you haven't played the other Saints Row, then you should check them out, because it doesn't make a huge difference, but you get that added sense of feeling that, oh, I played the other Saints Row, I know this happened, I know this character, and I know that this guy's back. And for you to have played the other Saints Row, a certain character will come back and he's still alive. I probably already spoiled it enough, but you already know. But all in all, Saints Row 4 is a good game. If you have $60 to spend, then you should probably get it. But the only disappointing thing is it doesn't have any multiplayer except for co-op mode.
I am almost done.
So if you have $60 and you want to get a game to hold you on before GTA 5 comes out, this would be the game. But if you only get games like probably like what, 4 times a year, and you only get like great games, then save your money for Grand Theft Auto 5. But I truly had a great experience with Saints Row 4, and I didn't expect what I was expecting. I expected it to be lower than what I was expecting, and it's a great game. So this game gets an 8 out of 10 for me, and I'm out. Peace.